Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Thursday morning? I'm losing my mind a little bit here this morning, guys. This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. The countdown towards Christmas continues. I'm just gonna come out of it, guys. I've got a migraine this morning, which is not good. I've been going through a lot of work this morning, and I've got a lot of work to do today, and we've obviously got the live stream tonight. So yeah, not ideal, but we power on. It's not one of those migraines where it's absolutely destroying me. Cross fingers, it will clear up later on, guys. But for those who are new here, welcome to Good Morning with Reganelite here on Thursday the 4th of December 2025 at 11 a.m. UK time. We are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1 there as well. So what we do normally, we go roughly about an hour here on this live stream here. We have today's daily quota, we have a look at the weather forecast, and then we'll have a look at the news. Today we're going to be looking at specifically UK news. We'll have a look at UK and world news tomorrow as a whole there. So let me just see who's hello in the chat. I think that's probably a bot on Twitch there, so just going to ignore that comment. Von Eric, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Viper Scott, one of our moderators, good to see you there, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Linda, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Ellie, good morning to you. Pete's Music, always jamming to Pete's Music. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Billy Kershaw, good morning, fellow Badger. How are you doing? Good to see you there. For Ollie, says Viper Scott. I should not be shouting with a migraine. For Ollie. For Ollie. For Ollie, our friend Ollie, guys. For Ollie. For Ollie. We did it for Ollie. Thank you so much for the £2 super chat, Viper Scott. Much appreciated, my friend. Good morning, Mad Monk. Good to see you, my friend. I know you can't always be there for the live streams. It's good to see you again. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Person impersonator as well. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. And I think that's everyone there. No worries, Mad Monk. It's totally fine. Yeah, you got to get your sleep in. I understand, my friend. I appreciate you popping in nonetheless there. I appreciate you nonetheless there. Oh, thank you, Matty. Thank you, Matty, for coming over to Twitch to clear that up. Much appreciated. You can come back to the YouTube chat. Appreciate it. And hola, Martin. Good morning to you as well. Hope you are doing well. Right, guys. Let's start. Let's get this going, guys. We got today's daily quota. Here it is. Here is today's daily quota. So you see exactly what it is here as well. Good morning, Graham. How are you? Hope you are doing well there. So here it is from Mark Twain. Today's daily quota. Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been. Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been. That's a nice one. Where smiles have been. Yeah, that's a nice one. That is a nice one. Tomorrow's one for Friday is a very cool one. A very cool one for Friday. Like that. I also like the fact today, guys, I got these special hooks that I could put onto the walls. So now my calendars that I've had here, because I have one calendar for wrestling, one calendar for normal stuff, because there's a lot of because the wrestling content carries for work and whatnot. I now have them up on the wall, so I now have more space here, which is incredible. But I'm actually going to be getting something very special for Christmas. But I don't want to give it away until after Christmas, until I've set it up. And I will be taking a photo and sharing it with you guys once it's done as well. I've got a very special Christmas present from my partner and my parents who they've chipped in for, which is really, really nice to help take us to the future as well. What it is, you'll have to wait until after Christmas. It's not going to. Yeah, I'm not giving any clues away. Let's have a look at the weather, guys. Let's see what's happening in the world today. Shall we have a look at what's happening in the world? Let's have a look at our big, beautiful planet, guys. Here is our big, beautiful planet. Here it is here in all of its glory. There are the storms, there are the rains, and there are the calmness on our planet. And if we zoom a little bit in, don't take your temperature seriously from around the world because really they don't do a very good job of updating it, BBC, unfortunately. So you can take them with a pinch of. So I'll say, just a reminder: if you ever go somewhere to Canada, don't go to Yellowknife. You will probably freeze to death. I'm just telling you, they always have that. It's always really, really cold there. I've got the impression it's more colder than Iceland and parts of Russia, but maybe that's just me. Ottawa -12, New York 5. Look at that stark look, I just want to share that, right? Literally, there's not too much difference there. Ooh, -10 for Chicago. Damn. New Orleans 14, Miami 27. Look at the stark contrast in temperatures from one part of the USA to another. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But there's some temperatures going on in places around the world. They've got a couple of bits of rainstorm around down in South America here. Parts of Africa there, nice and warm as you would expect, yeah, around those temperatures there. Looking over in Australia here, Australia, New Zealand parts here. 25 in Philippines, Sydney 20, Auckland's 18, Tokyo, Beijing 3 and -3 respectfully there. That's quite a big snowstorm they've got over there. That's a huge snowstorm. That's so big that'll actually cover the entire UK. That's how big that snowstorm is. Wow, that is quite huge. Moving a bit more further over here in the middle of our planet. I'll come to that super chat in just a moment. Port Sudan 27, Khartoum 31 there, Dhaka 25 there, Riyadh 21, Baghdad 14, Tehran 8. Moving a bit further up there, Moscow 2, Volgograd 2, St. Petersburg 2, Oslo 4, Murmansk there -7. Let's have a look at Europe, see what Europe has got here. Europe has got some rain and snow in parts happening here. Madrid 8, Lisbon 14. Madrid and parts of Portugal and Spain are suffering some rain and snow there. Parts of the Mediterranean is also forecasting some showers as well. Nice 11, Rome 10. Tuaria 4, I'm probably sure I botched that name. Athens 16, Istanbul 13. Zagreb 4, Bern 1, Vienna 6, Prague 3, Berlin 2, Budapest 9, Chistu 9, Kiev is 6, Warsaw 3, Paris there 6. Let's see our friends up in Iceland, -1 they've got today. Oslo in Norway -4 there. Just zoom a little bit in, we can see Brussels at 7 degrees here. And then looking here at the UK, we've got for later on today temperatures. Belfast 3, Dublin 5, Manchester 7, Cardiff 5, London 7, and Edinburgh 6 there. Dying of the dreaded lurky flu, so I will be listening in. I'm sorry to hear that, Peter. I hope you get better soon. Yeah, I hate getting the flu. I hate getting the colds too. This is the time of the year where I'm very where I can easily catch a cold and whatnot as well. So yeah, we try to be careful as we possibly can. Thank you so much for the very generous £5 super chat. I hope you get better real soon. I really do. Thank you so much for that. Good morning, Scott Hayes. Hope you are doing well there as well, and anybody else who's lurking in the chats. So yeah, those are the temperatures there. So we got some scattered showers coming down today in part. Some of you guys may be experiencing that already. We can see there for today. Temperatures are expected to get a bit chilly as we move overnight into the next day here. You can see tonight, overnight, yeah, we can see those temperatures really dropping overnight. You can see 3, 5 to 6 degrees. So very cold temperatures overnight tonight into Friday morning. So just bear that in mind. More colder down in the south of England than it is up in parts of Scotland from the looks of it there from those temperatures. But it's still going to be cold nonetheless there. Moving into Friday morning there, it looks like it's going to be as 1 degrees in London. It's what they're forecasting. Wow, that's definitely different. Friday morning there, we can see those temperatures still getting cold. But as we move closer, as the day passes tomorrow, we can see this rainstorm coming in here. That's going to be hitting most of Ireland here, and not until about the afternoon and evening, Friday afternoon, evening, that this storm will start hitting parts of England and Scotland here. We can already see Friday afternoon. Parts of England and very much most of Wales will be covered in that shower there. But temperatures look like it's going to be 9, 8 degrees, 8 in Manchester, 7 in Edinburgh, 8 and 10 in Belfast, Dublin, respectfully there. Moving over a bit more further on into the days, we go into the evening there. You can see that that rain is going to be hitting pretty much. So pretty much, yeah, at some point tomorrow, you're going to be hit by this storm. You're going to get high winds and you're going to get high rain. It's just a case of depending on where you are located. Parts of Scotland is also there going to be experiencing some snow up in the Highlands. but mainly forecast to get buckets loads of rain, which is normally expected around at this time of year. But temperatures are still going to be pretty chilly nonetheless. Moving on into Friday into Saturday there. Temperatures not as cold as it will be tonight, but they're still going to be lower than expected. Edinburgh 6, Belfast 8 and 9, Manchester, Cardiff 8 and 9, London 10, Edinburgh 6 there. Those snowstorms and rains are still going to be coming overnight in parts of the UK as well. Moving into Saturday morning, there'll still be some showers there as well, going to be around. Mainly, it looks like it's going to be dissipated around some parts of really northern Scotland going to be experiencing it. There'll be some parts where it will stop and dry, but it's scattered kind of places there. Some parts of Wales is going to get showers there, and parts of northern England there. Looks like London and maybe the south of England, most of its parts not going to have too much there. But there are some high winds there. You can see the high winds there, 22 there for Cardiff there. They're going to be so Wales is going to experience some high winds there, but moving a bit further over there. Later on the Saturday, we can see most of that rain is going to clear up, and temperatures are looking a lot better into Saturday evening there. I did say temperatures were going to go back up a little bit, but moving into Saturday, into Sunday there, another storm you can see coming in of showers there. Temperatures won't be so bad Saturday night into Sunday morning there if we just move a bit further in to the next day. They'll still be cold, but not as bad as it's going to be tonight, for example, here. But you can see that rainstorm is going to break up in some parts, but parts of Scotland is going to experience that weather there. If we move into a bit more into Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, yeah, it looks like that rain is just going to come straight through. And it looks like Sunday evening. Looks like we might have some a dry Sunday evening after some showers there from the looks of it there. And then just a quick browse on Monday morning. Monday morning there should be some showers as well. Temperatures won't be too bad. Roughly around about the same as what we're going to be experiencing in the next few days there. So forecast basically tonight is going to be very cold. Please it's going to be very cold tonight. More colder than the last couple of nights, so you're probably gonna, if you can't afford to put on the heating, please make sure you wrap up extra warm tonight. This includes your pets, but there are going to be some shower and storms going to be coming over the next couple of days. Again, make sure you have your raincoat or your brolly. It is to be expected. You have been warned, so yeah, just stay safe out there is the message I have for you guys. Right, shall we put ourselves through hell and look at some of the news which is bollocks, some of the news which is and some of the news which, and there's the odd good news. There's always sometimes the odd good news. We don't always find it, but sometimes we do. Let's have a look, guys. We're going to start with the Tory graph, the Telegraph, the Reform graph, or the bollocks graph here. And the reason why I do them and I don't do the Daily Express or the Express or the Daily Mail is because they have too much cookies on their website for me to showcase it, so I can't do those websites. If they didn't have so much cookies, I could do them, but I can't. The ones I have here, they don't have too much cookies, so just for reference there. Butterflies are the best weather predictors. Well, unfortunately, I'm not a butterfly, but I must be doing something right. I might take this hat off because it's not very good for my migraine. So live facial recognition cameras planned for every town centre. There's a part of me, it's like I don't like it, but at the same time it's like, well, if you've done nothing wrong, it's okay, but isn't it a bit more infringement on people? I don't know. I'm mixed feelings about that one. So Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, is ordering Treasury inquiry over budget leaks. I thought we already decided. Oh, the chairman got sacked, so it's not just him getting the kick then. Bullying is rife at hospitals at a centre of unsolved murder case there. Left-wing activist dumps manure under Christmas tree. Oh, that's pretty disgusting. Women Institute bans trans members. That's very discrimination. Green Council illegally applied second home tax on 300 properties. Interesting. I can't open that story up there. Football is a shared endeavour where the Germans always win, the King says. That is the German president, I believe, visiting the UK this next few days. That's him there with and the king posing with their partners, of course. They're not interested in the slightest there. Is there any other stories that the Telegraph has? Anything of interesting apart from bollocks? Labby Kell's tablet leakers to stop bitching and get on with the job. I don't know if he would say something like that, but I also wouldn't surprise me as well. Marine recruits sued MOD for 236,000 after overheating on training exercise, apparently. Manchester synagogue survivor attacker was willing to die to kill Jews. That's what they're claiming. Labour denying democracy by cancelling local elections, says Reform. We'll get more into that in a bit, that one. Earthquake rocks northwest England. Yeah, I'm going to touch on that in a bit as well. I saw that story this morning. Donald Trump, I don't know what the Kremlin is doing. Yeah, I'll tell you what they're doing. They're playing you for a bloody fool. That's what they're doing. British diplomats are failing my husband trapped in Egypt. And any other interesting. Labour drop plans for assisting dying in opposition. Why in opposition? They're the party in power. Why would they do that? That's a very odd thing to a very odd headline to put in there, but hey ho, that is the Tory graph there. I guess the Telegraph are already kind of like conceding that Labour are going to be gone at the next election, even though there's still lots of time between now and then. I'm probably going to end up taking ibuprofen after this because yeah, my bloody headache. Reform nets biggest donation to any party from a living supporter. Christopher Harborne, a former Tory donor, is giving £9 million to Nigel Farage's party. This is not right. This is not right. This is him buying influence within Reform, and then if they get into power, then they have to do things for him. This is buying influence. This is why we need to get donations like this out of politics. It's really bad. It's the same thing that they did for Labour, doing with the Conservatives. Needs to go. Tax income to Aisha limits. We saw that already. Starmer rejects idea Labour could rejoin customs union. Well, you're an idiot for saying such things. These are all old news. Does the Times not forget to update its page? Like, are they that slow? Looks like they're quite slow, guys. Late Queen's Cousins pays £2,200 a year for luxury home in Richmond. Don't like that. Farage's aide fronted Brighton owners £600 million football betting syndicate, a court told. High Court claims George Cottrell acted as a whale for betting operations of a Brighton owner who has dispensation from FA to gambling on football. That's very dodgy. That's very dodgy. That's all old stories. SNP orders independent review into grooming gangs in Scotland. Engineer loses tribunal over trans policy on sharing toilets. I'm not going to start that here. Sadistic teenager convicted of abusing 18 girls at Thornery House, apparently there. That sounds very horrific. Royal family don't care. A&E overrun by patients with hiccups and blocked noses. Why? That's not good. Flu cases at record levels at the NHS warns of a tidal wave. That's not good. Streeting orders inquiring into mental health over diagnostic. And that's just some of the stories there from the Times there. Let's have a look and see what the Financial Times is saying for us today, guys. Sunday is a bloody liar, says Ellie. What's that about Sundays? What you got against Sundays? I mean, I'm not reading the full conversation. UK Treasury announces inquiry into pre-budget leaks. Yep, a huge amount of taxpayer money going to be going into it. Yeah. Reform Russia. Launches probe into council leader over social media posts. Party said Staffordshire County Council leader has not been suspended. So you're launching a probe into a council leader over social media posts, but you're not suspending the person allegedly responsible for it. Okay, that makes total sense, right? UK explores its toughest laws on AI chatbots. Technology Secretary lists Kendall Tons NPCs especially wide about potential risk to children. Yep, I am too. Starmer rules out rejoining EU customs union, but sets up reset efforts. UK Prime Minister is giving 2 speeches this week, promising closer ties with Brussels. Billingsgate and Smith & Fields set to move to East London Royal Docks. The City of London's plans of 2 historic markets have been approved of most traders. Starmer proposes trip to China in January. First visit by UK Prime Minister since 2018, expected to come after London approves Beijing's mega embassy plans. Have they approved it? I keep hearing that it's been delayed. I heard it was being delayed till next year. And these are all opinion pieces here on the right hand side, just out of curiosity. People's curious there. I can't open any of these because it's the Financial Times. They're all behind paywalls, guys, in case anyone's curious. How Brendan Nielsen became HSBC stopgap chair. Not interested me personally. Sterling jumps as business survey triggers unwinding of negative bets. Bond investors warn US Treasury over picking Hasid as Fed chair. Steve Wickoff to meet Ukrainians after fruitless Putin talks. It is fruitless because I've said this before and I've said this again. Russia and Putin are not going to move positions. They're not going to move positions on the territory, and Ukraine must not move positions on their territory. They should not move position in any way, shape, or form. They can't. They can't do. UK universities restrict recruitment of Bangladeshi and Pakistani students. Why? That sounds racist to me. Why? Why has that been happening? That sounds very racist. Big read. Macron warns of disintegration risks to world order in Xi meeting. Yep, he's in China at the moment, the French president. Trying to kind of warm relations between Europe and China. UK government orders review into rising diagnosis of mental health conditions. I thought we were already doing that. Trump says claims of US affordability crisis is a hoax. That's not what the numbers and statistics and what people on the ground are saying. So he's lying there. EU launching antitrust probe into Meta over WhatsApp AI policy. That's an exclusive from them. Very interesting. US holds plans to sanctions China spy agency there. I'd like to read that. I don't have ways of getting past the paywall now as well. Ofcom levies first 1 million Online Safety Act fine against porn site provider. An adult site has been fined. So they've actually found a website that's, even though there's bloody hundreds of them out there, they've realised, some of them are actually breaking the Online Safety Act, and they've issued a fine to one of them. Took them this long, guys. Took them this long. Are they actually going to get the money from them? I doubt that very much. China says it's actively issuing rare earth general licenses. EU climate chief criticises China, India, and Saudi pushback on carbon tax there as well. The conglomerate dominating Abu Dhabi's economy. Sovereign fund accuses US PE firms of self-dealing in lawsuits there as well. Some interesting stories here from the FT. It's a shame I can't look at them a bit more deeper. I would have liked to have looked at that Meta one. But it's behind a paywall. I can't get bypass it like I used to. If I could, I would, guys. Let's have a look at the iPaper, see what they are saying today here, guys. So, Reform Russia receives £9 million from a single donation, one of its largest ever. Between July and the end of September, it collected £24 million. Was donated to the UK political party, with £9 million of that coming from Christopher Harben for Reform Russia. So basically he will dictate a lot of things in terms of their policy. Criminals not barred from becoming MPs, but that's set to change. Also, as well, because this guy's got influence, he might want certain specific members to join the party, politicians from Conservatives to join the party as well. So he might have a part in that as well as obviously having favours for the party. Toddlers with special needs to be identified at family hubs before starting school. I should think so. Kidney dialysis patient evacuate from Tunbridge Wells after 5 days without water. This is what happens when you have things ran by the bloody private companies. Water should not be a market. It should not be a monopoly. Water should not be a fucking monopoly. It should not. Sorry for swearing, but yeah. What am I wearing? It's a shirt of my favourite wrestler. If you must know. It's an old shirt of hers, to be fair. I've got loads of hers. Andrew wrote, see a penny of 5 million compensation from leaving Royal Lodge. I should hope not. I'll be very upset if he does. OBR leader attacks Reeves again for misleading public before budgets. Why are the OBR leaders attacking Reeves? They're the ones who leaked the budget. They're misleading. Because of the run up to the budget before. Yeah, the run up to the budget. Yeah, it was a lot of misleading that income tax was going to go up and it didn't. Yeah, they did way too much fear mongering in the run up to the budget. UK entirely unprepared for war in the face of Putin's latest threat. I agree with that. This is despite the fact apparently we're still like one of the top 5 biggest. Apparently we're still one of the top five biggest spenders in military. Apparently, the UK. Apparently, I don't know how true that is. It's just there's this Twitter that has a massive following, and that has like nearly 7 million followers on Twitter. It cites its sources, but apparently the UK is like 3 or 4. Like, it's in the top 5 apparently of most spending on military or something like that. And I'm thinking that just can't be right. That just can't be right. But yeah, make what you will of that. Reform targets Jenrick's defection to destabilise Tories before election. Robert Jenrick defecting to Reform, I can see that happening. Can definitely see that happening. Let's just see the front of the iPaper here. Criminals are not barred from becoming MPs, but that's set to change. While professionals must pass strict safeguarding checks, candidates for Parliament can stand even if they have a criminal record or appear on the sex offenders list. Yeah, both those. No, that needs to change. Are you behind a paywall? You're going to put a paywall behind me? Yeah, you are. Screw you. Yeah, if you have a criminal record or you're on the sex offenders list, like, you should be automatically not allowed to run as an MP. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, there should not be a conversation about this at all. Like, you know, I know this argument of people deserve second chances and whatnot, but like, if you've committed a crime, if you're on this kind of list, like, no, you can't go anywhere near politics. Like, you can do work for the party, but you cannot have a seat as an MP. Like, you can't go anywhere near being an MP representing constituents. That should automatically end. Like, absolutely not. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what your political beliefs are. Doesn't matter whether you're left, right, whatever. If you've got a criminal record, if you're on the sex offenders list, that's it. The fact that it's 2025 and we're having this conversation now is bloody balming. It's balming. Absolutely balming. Good morning, Reg. Hope you are doing well. This should have been done decades ago. Why are we doing this now? I don't understand why this wasn't done sooner. Like, no MP should have a criminal record or be on the sex offenders list. Like, it's not rocket science. I actually think I would even go as far as to say that councillors shouldn't be allowed to run if they have a criminal record as well. It would exclude. It might exclude quite a lot of reform councillors, but I'm sorry, I don't want law-breaking people on running parts of our, running local economies, local politics. Warning Manchester to London rail line at limit and could get worse for passengers. That's not good. I am not look. I really hope I don't have any travel problems going to Manchester in 2 weeks' time. I'm very much concerned about that. Because I'm travelling up on the day for the show. I'm traveling in a very early train. I pray to God I do not have any issues. I pray I do not have any issues. It is a little bit nervous because normally what I do is I book beforehand. I normally travel up the day beforehand, but yeah, I don't normally do it on the day. You know, it costs more to stay overnight for an extra day, but it just gives me assurances. But yeah, I'm trying to save money. I'm a Russian in the UK. Trump's peace plan disgusts me. Yeah, because you're not influenced by. Yeah, you're not being influenced within the country. Of course, yes, of course. I'm glad that someone says that. That doesn't surprise me, especially someone who's on the outside of Russia. Toddlers with special education needs to be identified at family hubs before starting school. Reform targets Generic's defection to destabilise Tories before election. I'm not going anywhere, says Shadow Justice Secretary. That's what Jonathan Gullis said, and look what happened to him. So, yeah, I don't buy that for a second. Farage tonight reports he would do an election pact with the Tories. Bollocks. I call that bollocks from him. And UK is entirely unprepared for war, as we've seen already there. Some stories that I could open up. Hopefully we can have a look at some of these ones here. Reform UK gets £9 million from donation from British billionaire. Christopher Harburn, Nigel Farage push to get into Down Street received a huge boost. Who previously donated to the Tories under Boris Johnson is thought to be the biggest given to a party by a living person, the British-born businessman who now lives in Thailand. Oh, what? How funny that! Oh, he lives in Thailand. He doesn't actually live here, guys. He doesn't actually live here. What a shame. Made his money as an aviation entrepreneur and crypto investor. That dodgy stuff. He previously made sizable donations to the Brexit Party. What a surprise. Reform UK's predecessor in 2019-2020. He's not given, but he has not given money to politics for 5 years before giving his latest donation, apparently. Reform UK's total donation of 10.5 million were the largest of any party during the period, followed by the Conservative Party, which received just under 7 million. Figures released on Thursday from the Electoral Commission shows. Labour received 2.5 million, while donations totaling just over 2 million were given to the Liberal Democrats. Mr Harburn is yet another former ally, Mr Johnson, and have backed Farage and Reform UK. He follows Tory chairmen Sir Jake Berry, former ministers Dame Andrea Jenkins, Nadine Dorries, and a number of ex-Tory MPs, including this week Leah Nicky, Chris Green, and Jonathan Goose, who were supporters of Mr Johnson. Despite living in Thailand for more than 20 years and holding a Thai passport, and sometimes going by his Thai name, Mr Harburn made a considerable amount of donations into British politics. He's been living in Thailand for more than 20 years. This guy should have. I'm sorry, this guy should have no influence whatsoever in our politics when he's sitting on his arse in as a businessman in Thailand. It's bad enough, yeah, people influencing us outside of in the UK, but you know who are doing it for terrible. But we're talking about a guy here who's not even living in the bloody country. Travel with Johnson in Ukraine when he's Prime Minister. It's believed that the 9 million given to Reform is the largest political donation on record from a living person. The second is only to Lorne Sainsbury's, who left 10 million to the Conservatives in his will in 2023 after his death. He donated money to the Conservatives after his death. What a terrible individual. £5,000 donation from property developer Nick Candy as well. And then there's a couple of other donations there as well. Guy lives in bloody Thailand. UK and Norway launch pact to hunt Russian spy ships. Well, what exactly are you going to do? What are you going to do when you find the spy ships? You're not going to blow them up, are you? You're not like America, where they're just going to shoot first and ask questions later. So what? You're going to find them and say, "Turn around and go back to Russia." Is that what we're going to do here? Is that what we're going to do here? No, the warships will monitor Russian naval movements in the water. Okay. They're poised to sign the landmark Defence Pact to establish a combat naval fleet specifically designated to track Russian submarines across the North Atlantic. The initiative aims to safeguard critical undersea cables, which face an escalating threat from Moscow, with the Ministry of Defence noting a 30% rise in Russian vessel sightings in UK waters over the past 2 years. The announcement comes as Prime Minister Keir Starmer hosts his Norwegian counterpart in northern Scotland. Is that today? It doesn't say when. Two leaders are scheduled to hear from P8 Maritime Patrol crews who have tracked Russian vessels such as spy ship Yanir, which recently targeted one of the aircraft with lasers. Named the Lunar House Agreement after the Shetland Isles base used by the Norwegian resistance in the Second World War, the pact is underpinned by a 10 billion UK-Norway warship deal signed in September. Type 26 frigates to be constructed at BAE Systems Yard in Glasgow, a former fleet of at least 13 anti-submarine ships from both nations, with a minimum of 5 being Norwegian. These warships will monitor Russian naval movements across the water between Greenland, Iceland and the UK, defending seabed cables and pipelines vital for British communications, electricity and gas networks. Okay. I mean, personally, I do feel like money can go in other places, but, I don't want the internet being cut out from the UK, to be fair, as well. So, yeah, I don't want our undersea cables being there. I want to respond to this story I saw. So a school apologises after comparing Nigel Farage and Reform MP to a far-right dictator. Secondary schools featuring Reform UK members on the extreme far-right of a display of political spectrum. Let me read more into this before I give my thoughts, because I generally want your guys' feedback on this one. So, a secondary school in Nottinghamshire has apologised after photos of Reform UK leader Nigel Farage and MP Lee Anderson appeared on a classroom display board next to fascist and far-right politicians. Images of the Italian dictator Mussolini and British fascist leader Oswald Mosley were featured alongside two Reform members of Parliament. Quarrendale Academy, a secondary school in Sutton in Ashfield, has since taken down the display and is launching an internal review. So this is this was what Lee Anderson, in his dumbass question in Parliament, he put that as a question in Parliament this week, which everyone mocked him for. So Anderson, who is the MP of the town, she had a photo display on Facebook condemning the school. He says, "This is what our children are being made to look at. Show our kids where to look, they'll make their own minds up." The wall display is a political spectrum featuring images of leaders from extreme left-wing to extreme right-wing politics, including photographs of former Prime Ministers Margaret Thatcher, Boris Johnson and Sir Tony Blair. So this is the picture here. Speaking in the House of Commons, this is where he was. 9-year-old students of Quarrendale, Ashfield are currently studying politics, and on the display for they had the work extreme far right-wing politics, Nazi party and fascism. On the side of the words, there are pictures of Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, and on friend of Volvo, Clacton, and whatnot. Education Minister says we have strict rules about political impartiality within our education system, and we're clear about those rules. All schools should apply them. And this is where I have to agree with the government, I have to agree with Georgia Gould on this, guys. And we know exactly what they are. We know what their political policies are. We know what they stand for. But when it comes to political impartiality, that needs to remain within school. It is one thing to learn about politics, which is a good thing, guys. It's good that we have kids learning about politics. Yeah, we want them to learn politics and understand things, right? But this is wrong. Okay, like I get how people feel about Reform, and you guys know my positions about them and whatnot. But this is wrong. This they should not have done this. Okay, if they have opinions about it, fine, they can express them, but don't go putting it on the wall. Don't go making it so blimmin' obvious. Like, I do have this phrase that sometimes I really do think we should keep politics out of the classroom. I really do. The impartiality of politics. Like you can talk about it in terms of, like, you can talk about politics, but not in terms of, I don't think it's right to point this out. This kind of thing out, even though I understand how people feel about this party and its influence and where it is going, guys. Excuse me. The reason, and the other thing is as well, is that it also gives the right wing, and it gives parents, and it gives them the right-wing media, it gives right-wing politicians, it gives them the excuse of attacking our schools, it gives them the excuse of that children's minds are being poisoned by left-wing extremist teenagers and whatnot. It paints that picture for them. This kind of stunt here, this plays into their hands. This plays into their mindsets, and it's not a good idea, guys. We should not be playing into their hands. I think, yeah, you should try and keep the biases of politics out of the classrooms. Like, it's one thing to talk about politics and talk about that kind of stuff here in terms of a form of education, but when it comes to the giving your biased opinions and putting these biased opinions, I think all you're doing is making things worse. In my personal opinion, some people will disagree, and that's fine. But this was a big no-no. They should not have done this. And I hate to agree. With reform and whatnot, but yeah, just don't give them petrol. Is the message that I have, and that's what I generally believe that they've done with this story. Labour MP suspended after rebelling against Reeves' tractor tax. So Labour MP Marcus Campbell-Saviour suspended after rebelling against Reeves' tractor tax. Dozens of Labour MPs abstained from the vote in a fresh blow to Rachel Reeves. So Marcus Campbell-Saviour has been suspended after rebelling against the government's plans to impose an inheritance tax on farmers. Dozens of Labour MPs abstained from the Commons vote, while backbencher voted against the measure, expressing deep concerns about the impact on farmers. He was informed he had the whip removed by the Chief Whip, Jonathan Reynolds, on Wednesday, according to a Labour source. It comes after the NFU called on Labour MPs to abstain from the vote, showing that they truly back the working people by the countryside. Backbenchers argue that most farmers are not wealthy lone barons, and said the measures fail to tackle the abuse by celebrities and the billionaires who buy farmland and avoid paying full inheritance tax bill. Yeah. Treasury Minister James Murray insisted changes the government made in the budget are a fair way forward. MPs voted in support of the government's plans with 327 votes to 182, a majority of 145. Yeah, a lot of them abstained so that they didn't face any wrath here, but Marcus here went one step further. I mean, fair play to him. Fair play to him. I mean, I do have to say that this tax is not working, like, because they're just not, like, they need to get round the table and talk to the farmers more. Talk to the farmers, talk to the businesses, and look at solutions to this, because I just don't think it's working. I just think they're getting more grief than they need to on it. Parents set to save hundreds on baby formula in a new crackdown, apparently. WI's deep regret is as it bans trans women after Supreme Court ruling. Foreign Office failed to treat Harry Dunn's death as a crisis, report says. It does not surprise me at all. What else we got? How Salisbury's Notrix poison unfolded in 2018. What else we got here? I've seen that already. Facial recognition to be launched. Touched on that already. UK energy bills to rise by £108 to pay for infrastructure upgrades. I thought our bills were going down. The Chancellor said our energy bills are going down, guys. Well, that didn't last long. UK energy bills set to rise by £108 to pay for infrastructure upgrades. Britain's energy watchdog gives the go-ahead to initial £28 billion of investment to upgrade UK's energy infrastructure, but reveals it will push up network charges. Network charges? Are you kidding me? UK households are set to be hit by £108 surge in energy bills to pay for infrastructure upgrades. Energy Watchdog is giving the go-ahead for initial £28 billion of investment in infrastructure, but reveal, can we get rid of this bloody advert? I can't seem to get rid of it, guys. Sorry. In its final verdict on price controls for energy firms over the next 5 years, Ofgem has increased the allowed investment to spend from the initial £24 billion that was provisionally given the go-ahead in the summer. It said the highest investment levels will see a £17.8 billion spent on gas transmission and distribution networks in the 5 years to 2031, with over £10.3 billion used to strengthen UK's high voltage electricity network. I do agree. I'm not debating that we don't need these upgrades, but I just kind of wish, it wasn't coming out of our pocket directly. But Ofgem said decision to increase the allowed investment spend will push up household bills by more than first expected before savings. Great. When there's a change happening, households will see a network charge on bills, which will make up around a fifth of average energy costs to surge by 2031. How much will it cost me? The network charges on bills will rise by £108 to cover the cost of the extra investment, up from £104, rise estimate in Ofgem's draft verdict in July. The regulator said this will include £48 for gas work, £60 for the electricity grid. Why is it happening? It insisted the bills would be even higher without the approved investment. It said the funding will allow the UK to make savings through boosting the nation's power generation and lower reliance on imported gas. Why are we importing gas again? Answers on a postcard. The investment will support the transition of new forms of energy and support new industrial customers to help drive growth and insulate us from volatile gas prices, apparently. This is not investment at any price. Every pound must deliver value for consumers. Ofgem will hold network companies accountable for delivering on time and on budget and make no apologies for the effective challenge we're setting in the industry scale-up investment. DEFRA said spending to improve network and energy networks was essential and stressed the government was offering support for costs by cutting £150 off the bills next April. So you're cutting off £150. There's still essentially, but we're going to be rising by £108 still. Okay. Well, make what you will of that, guys. This happened last night. Some people may have heard this. Oh, knocked my mic there. Powerful late night 3.3 magnitude earthquake rocks northwest England. Tremors were felt in Lancashire and Lake District on Wednesday night there. 3.3 magnitude earthquake sent tremors through homes across north west England late on Wednesday night. The British Geological Survey has confirmed shortly after 11:23 p.m. Tremors were felt widely across Lancashire and southern Lake District as impact towns such as Kendal and Ulverston are all within 12 miles of the epicentre. Data indicates seismic events originate just off the coast of Silverdale, Lancashire, at depths of 1.86 miles. Residents reported to the BGS that it felt like an underground explosion, and it was so powerful it shook the whole house. That's where the red dots of where the epicenter was there. The Volcano Discovery website, which monitors global seismic activities, received more than 1,100 reports from individuals in the affected area, with most describing the shaking as light or weak. While the BTS detects between 200 and 300 earthquakes in the UK annually, only a fraction, typically 20 to 30, are strong enough to be felt by the public. The majority pass unnoticed, recorded solely by sensitive instruments and rarely causing significant damage. The most recent earthquake exceeded 3.3 magnitude occurred on the 20th of October, affected parts of Perth and King's Ross in Scotland. BTS noted that the tremor struck at 7:25 a.m. with its epicenter located in Pearl, with the Glen Leon region. Last week, the US state of Alaska was rocked by a 6.0 magnitude earthquake. The earthquake struck shortly after 8 a.m. on Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving as well. That's even the worst time. Tremors felt from around 350 miles. There was no immediate reports of significant damage or deaths. That's good for them. And yeah, remember, we still get earthquakes in parts of England. We get these earthquakes, right? Remember, Reform want to bring back fracking, guys. Yeah, they will get worse, you know. Children injured as school bus roof ripped off after hitting a bridge. What on earth happened here? Children injured as school bus roof ripped off after hit a bridge. What the hell was the bus doing going in a low bridge in the first place? The bus hit the bridge at Spenmore Lane on Coppell, Lancashire, just after 12:30 on Wednesday, according to Lancashire Police. Passengers taken off around 30 children were assessed by medical staff. 8 were treated by paramedics for minor injuries. North West Ambulance Service spokesperson said an 8-year-old boy was taken to hospital with a head injury. The driver and 2 teachers on board were also unhurt. The road was reopened at around 4 p.m. Fights on the scene showed the roof had been ripped off the bus. The Lancashire postman called on the bridge. Emergency service attending. Road was closed for 3 hours. Dealt with the incident. It's now reopened. There's still more to follow. Why? Like, straight away, my first thought is like, look at that bus. Like, why is that bus going in a low bridge? Sorry, the driver needs to face answers there. Like, what the hell? Like, You can clearly tell it's a low bridge. It's bad enough when truck drivers don't realise what they're doing, but when we're talking about and it's a bus driver, a school one, carrying children as well. Sorry, the driver needs to face. I think the driver there, I think he needs to face the axe. Like you just we're talking. It's just bad, just really really bad. I mean, I don't have the full details, but my God, looking at that picture, you really when you have and our friend Dave McGinnis, you know this better than anyone how important it is when you are driving a truck, and especially one as tall as it can be, to understand and know where low bridges are and whatnot. When you're going around, how important it is to know this shit, But we're talking about a driver here with a bus full of school kids. I mean, thank God no one was seriously hurt or seriously killed, but yeah, one or two sustained some injuries there. Definitely some questions need to be answered there. Got about 10 minutes left, guys, before our show wraps up. Going to be looking at a couple more before we go. Just a quick reminder, guys, if you want to help contribute towards the Super Chat goal, be greatly appreciated. And also, myself and Wendy Pagan will be going live later on tonight at 8 o'clock with the Eco Flake show. On there, we talk about the environment, talk about climate change, as well as more other environmental stuff, guys. It's very interesting stuff that we come across and discuss. So do join us for that if you can tonight at 8 o'clock. Greatly appreciated there. I was in an earthquake once. Well, I said earthquake. I was sat on a washing machine, says Ellie. Yeah, sitting on a washing machine does that, Ellie. Yeah, sitting on a washing machine does that. I've actually I've the worst washing machines are the ones that aren't stable, and when they start rattling and sort of thing. I think when I was renting one time, I had the one that was like that, and I hated it. And I used to joke with my partner, the washing machine's about to blow up. Was it a driver that had never covered the school route? Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know enough about the story, but it just, for me, but even if it's the normal route, or whether it is taking a dive, it's possible that they had to take a diversion because of roadworks. Possibly, it's possible, but still, you have to understand, even as a bus driver, you have to understand how tall your vehicle is and know where the dangers are. Everyone knows that there are low bridges, up and down all different parts of the UK. You've got to, and if you see a bridge ahead of you and you're not 100% sure, you're better off stopping and turning around. Even if you piss off all the other drivers, it's just not worth the risk, because because the consequences are so huge. Whether you're a truck driver or a bus driver, the consequences on you is massive. It's just not worth it. It's better to get stick. It's better to be late than actually trying to get in under that bridge in order to cut down your time, when it could end up being you end up making an accident. The low bridge of Stein, he should have stopped and tried to go and not tried to go under. That's the thing that sticks out to me more than anything. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's one thing they've done. I think, a lot of bridges now have done that, which is very good. They have these the yellow signs of low bridges. I think that's a really good thing. That's a great thing, because it really sticks out to drivers, saying, hey, this is a low bridge. Because obviously sometimes people don't think, and that can make a difference. Bus and coach drivers take all the risks for not a lot of money, says Billy Kershaw. Yeah, I understand. I understand that you have a time limit. Nowadays there's time limits. You have to get to something by a certain time and whatnot. But it's not worth losing your job over, which is what I think is going to happen to that driver. He's probably I'm going to assume he's probably not a bad person or a bad driver, and it's just a case he just wasn't paying attention. New mayoral elections to be delayed in 4 areas of England. What's this about? BBC has confirmed pushing back regional deviation plans. New mayors were expected to be elected in Grey Essex, Norfolk and Suffolk, Hampshire and Sullivan. but we'll now have to wait until May 2028. The government is arguing that more time is needed to reorganise local governments in these areas, but stress more homes, better high streets and support for businesses were all on the way. Opposition parties are calling for the elections to go ahead as planned, with Shadow Local Government Secretary Sir James Cleverly accusing Labour of subverting democracy. The new mayors are part of the simplification of local government aimed at reducing the number of councils by merging districts and county authorities to create utility authorities. Utility authorities will be headed up by new mayors who will be handed more funding and extra powers to run the area, included to hand greater power to local communities. However, the body represents district councils warned at the time that the plan could spark turmoil and argued mega councils could undermine local decision making. Earlier this year, 18 councils requested a delay to their planned May elections due to incomplete reorganisation into 8 utility authorities. Critics are concerned the announcement of delays to mayoral elections could lead to further elections being cancelled. Kevin Bagnott says it's a scandal local elections have been delayed. I don't like it. A crypto investor, yeah, we saw that story. Is Scottish Labour on the brink of Westminster revolt? I don't care. I think Scottish Labour are going to get kicked to the curb again. They only got voted in because they were afraid of the Tories. That's the only reason in Scotland. It's not because I don't think it's because Scottish Labour is back. You know. Lib Dems call for farming equivalent of Teach First scheme. A Labour MP issues a plea for Lammy to scrap the stupid jury trial plan. We talked in length about that yesterday, if you guys didn't see it. From Parliament to pantomime, Corbyn's festive crossover. Jeremy Corbyn's going to be in a pantomime. Oh, as long as he's still doing his job anyway. He does it a lot better, to be fair, than other MPs. Labour MP suspended. We know about that. Labour explored backing assisting dying before. Oh, they explored backing assisting dying before the election. That's what the story is. Yeah, the other headline in the other paper was very misleading. Reform UK probes council leaders' online activity. So what is this about this guy? Activists Hope Not Hate group claim to have found racist posts on an account on X allegedly linked to Ian Cooper, including one about former Foreign Secretary David Lammy, which reads no foreign national or first-generation migrant should be allowed to sit in Parliament. That's blatant racist. Reform said he was undertaking an urgent internal investigation after Cooper's non-disclosure of social media accounts. BBC has made 2 approaches for Cooper for comment, but he's not responded. BBC verified the analysis, which is under the name Ian Cooper. It's not possible to definitively confirm that it is the council leader, as it does not feature a picture or reference to his position, though it's likely due to the followers linked to the account. Cooper is not the first of Staffordshire Reform Councils to face scrutiny over social media activity. Yep. So he hasn't responded to the allegations, apparently. Well, you should do, mate. You should do. Let's have a quick look. We are running out of time. Got a couple minutes left. Grid investment of 28 billion. Police accused of homophobic assumptions over victims of blackmail on Grindr. Porn site fined £1 million. The earthquake. Scotland superfan books 22 hotels before World Cup draw. Wow. Good for I like this guy was ahead of the game. He foreshadowed what was going to happen. He booked 22 hotels. I love this. That's awesome. In a bid to beat soaring prices after the fixtures are confirmed, the IT analysis has booked 22 hotels in the free host nation. Awesome. Well, I hope he has I generally mean this. I hope he has a wonderful time. I really do. I really mean that. That's awesome. Any other stories here? Flu cases in Scotland more than double in a week. Do take care, guys. Couples say I do in front of 2 strangers found through Reddit. That's weird. Well, you say it's weird, but it's not, because me and my partner found each other through Facebook. So, guess it's not weird now. You know. Where people get married is weird. Some people get married in the weirdest of places, you know. I think we covered all the stories here. Oh, got about a minute left. Well, we'll just have to quickly run through the Guardian and Sky News here. Reforms receives biggest donation from someone still alive. They got an exclusive here. It wasn't fine. The Russians knew inside a decades-long saga that left the UK shockingly unprepared for war. Tory reform packs not happening at any level, says Richard Tice, which means that they're definitely happening. Number of flu patients in hospital beds across England rises by more than 50%. They got the story on the earthquakes. Whistleblower reveals hundreds of UK moderators have left TikTok. That's not good at all. That's really not good at all. Hidden code that proves you shouldn't default to big brand medicines. That's Money News later. Energy Grid, £28 billion upgrade. We touched on that already. 2,000 salary sacrifice cap explains what you should expect now according to experts. We're out of time, but we'll just have a quick nose at The Guardian. I'll leave Barline Times. I'll see if we can have a look at it tomorrow. But we'll just have a quick look at what The Guardian's saying here. Labour says deplorable for reformed Russia to dismiss Farage's schoolboy racism claims as lies. Politics Live. Treasury launches inquiry into budget leaks. We touched on that already. Hardline migration policies are fueling people smuggling. Report finds. Yep, delay to mayoral elections. King Charles decrees Russian aggression is pleading on defending Europe. Let's just have a quick look at front there. UK workers will get unfair dismissal rights after 6 months from the 1st of January. Andrew Rayner backs off trying to force earlier implementation after talks, says sources, with ministers to start announced dates and Commons. So Rayner tried to change it and she wasn't happy. Tough market conditions hit UK's half-year retail sales in Fraser Groups. Flu patients. Children's rights must be protected in any Ukrainian peace plan. 130 MPs tell the Foreign Office. Absolutely. And we've seen some of those stories already there, guys. Lee Corn, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Unfortunately, you came right at the end of the show here. Guys, just a quick reminder, myself and One Enemy Pagan will be going live tonight at 8 o'clock for the EcoFlake show. So if you could join us for that, it'd be greatly appreciated. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Viper Scott and Peter, for your super chats today. Fortunately, didn't reach today's super chat goal, but I did. I said it yesterday, and I'll say it here. You know, this month is going to be the month where I make the least amount of money, because I always do lesser live streams as well. But if you guys can join us tonight, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you can't make tonight's live stream, I'll be going live again tomorrow. For the last Good Morning show of the week, tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So if you guys can join me for that, it'll be greatly appreciated. We'll cover not just UK news, but we'll cover some world stories as well there as well. Some really, there'll always be some interesting stuff there as well. But just before I go, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all your comments. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you guys are doing. But before I go, just one last thing. If you can for me, please hit that like button. Share this across social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. Help me get to 2,500 subscribers. Check out Rumble and Patreon. Links for them are in the description down below as well. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon. Wait a minute. That's the wrong one.